Radon is becoming a big issue today, and not too many people know about it.
The thing with radon gas is that it is a colorless, odorless gas that generates from the soil. It's naturally occurring, and it comes from the breakdown of uranium.
And it can seep right into your house. As a matter of fact, it's in every single home in the country. The question is how much?
The long-term health effects could be the impact through lung cancer. And essentially, that's why the Lung Association right across the country is involved in this national project.
It is the #2 leading cause of lung cancer. So if you didn't smoke, it's the #1 cause of lung cancer. That's not good. Can we do something about it? Yes.
Well, homeowners can be extremely proactive. First of all, they need to get their homes tested.
An inspection inside your home, just put in a little unit for 91 days is what I recommend, a long term.
And the key is to make sure that, the person who's actually doing the testing or doing the remediation is certified and thoroughly trained. With Mike Holmes Inspections, what we're doing here is we're doing everything in-house. I myself am a certified radon measurement provider. Basically, we will come into your home, place a very small radon measurement device. Ideally, we're going to be testing your home for 91 days. We can test one of the neighbors' homes here. They may be well within the action level. They may be higher. There's no way of knowing unless you actually test.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about a very serious health issue that most Canadians don't even know much about, unfortunately. And even though it's in our homes, our workplaces, and our schools, the issue is radon. Virtually every home in Canada has some kind of radon contamination, unfortunately. The question is, how much?
How this all came about was when this past April, we had a Mike Holmes home inspection.
I originally came here to do a roof inspection for Jana and Michael.
And at that time, Mark also asked if we had heard of radon, and we said no.
I was letting her know about mold in the homes, and as well as the topic of radon came up.
Said, would you consider having the radon test done? Naturally, we're concerned about our health, and so we decided for the $250, we'll proceed with the radon test, and we did the radon and the mold test.
Right now we're here where the whole story began, and this is where Mike Holmes Inspection deployed a radon device down in the basement to see what the radon concentration is inside the house.
We came into the home, we placed the radon devices.
And at the end of 3 months, they came and they picked it up, they simply ended the test, and then they took it back to the lab.
Did the readings on the monitor, and I was actually quite shocked that the readings came back at 960 becquerels per cubic meter, which is actually quite high.
Acceptable levels that Health Canada says is around 200. This house here is over 4 times that, and it is actually really bad.
And when they're that high above it, the guidance tells us that we should do something about that within a year.
Immediately phoned Jana up at that point, let her be aware that, we do have some really high levels of radon in her home.
We were just shocked with disbelief, and then scared too. Like, what do we do? Where do we go from here? How soon does it have to be corrected? How much time do we have?
Gave her some options and let her know that, it is actually very easy to remediate.
I just can't believe how simple it is to solve, to remediate this situation.
You can bring in a professional company, and they're going to install an exhaust fan that actually pulls that gassing out of the ground, out of the earth, and exhausts it directly outside.
So what we've done here is that we're taking a core bit and drilling a 5-inch hole down in through the slab. What we're looking for when we break through the slab is what's the substrate material that's there. This one's a really good example where the builder's done it right. We've got 3/4 inch stone, and there's a little bit of fines in here, which is quite normal for us to find. Eventually we're going to come back in here and we're going to dig a communication pit. Probably with this material we'll take out 1 5-gallon pail. What that's going to do is give us a great pathway to draw the air that's underneath the slab that's full of radon and be able to take it out of the house. With this house, we're actually going to have to put another opening in to deal with the crawl space area, and that'll be next after we bring the hole in from the outside.
What we're actually doing here on the outside is we're actually setting up our discharge point of where the radon actual gas will be exhausting from the house. The radon gas underneath the concrete floor in the basement it's actually very concentrated. So when we're exhausting outside, we need to exhaust it as far away from the house as possible, so it gets a chance to dilute in the air before it has any type of chance of reinfiltration into the home.
When we start to bring the pipe and fittings in, we've got a really good route that we can plan and know exactly where the pieces go, how long they are, and put them together. And so you have to kind of think your way through, and as you start to put it together, this glue, when it dries up, you can't move it. It's a chemical weld. There we go.
We're just centering the pipe with a backer rod, as well as it gives a good basis for the caulking, which is key because we have to seal this pipe, okay, and seal the opening because we're putting a fair amount of suction on this pipe in order to draw all the way throughout the entire home. And as a final seal, we use this industrial grade caulking, and the beauty of this is it stays pliable and it doesn't off-gas as well. This is the same product we used in the entire crawl space to seal all of the cold joint area, the perimeter connection between the slab and the foundation wall.
As you can see, the guys are already running in the ductwork, the exhaust units. I think people look at this like it's going to be an awful lot of money to install this, and it's not.
No, it's really one day's work for a trained crew. Simply, we can come in, do the assessment, the communication test, figure out what we got to do, and typically our crews finish a job in the same day.
What we have here is our finalized system. And how it works is we've got this radon fan here.
So it's going to go 24 hours a day.
Absolutely. So what it's designed to do is to suck all of the soil gas that's underneath that slab through here and suck out all the soil gas from underneath that slab, and it's going up here. So it meets, and then it comes to the fan, and then it goes in this pipe, and from here this pipe goes right to outside where it's exhausted, and it dilutes to safe levels almost instantly, really quickly.
What's this little thing you have right here?
Well, this tells us that the pressure that it's actually sucking properly. So when the air is going up here, it's just like sucking on a straw, and it's pulling that liquid up.
So you want to see on the right-hand side, because that's where it's pulling it up. If that were to drop level, because it would if there was no pull, that means it's not doing its job.
Not doing what it's supposed to do.
You know what's clear to me on this one is that not just anybody can install this. This needs to be a certified person who knows how to run this to confirm it's pulling the gases from the earth out.
So we have the system installed now, the fan's running, and as you can see, what used to be a positive number has now become a negative number. So what that is it's drawing air from underneath the slab, and this is our way of telling that the system is working.
At the end of all this, they're safe, I feel good, and we're going to educate people. But you need to help me make this minimum code everywhere in Canada.
Let's do it.
I want to see it everywhere. Thank you.
They say ignorance is bliss. I'm sorry, ignorance is not bliss. The more you know, the better you can respond to it. You don't have to overreact.
I'm certainly glad that we were able to react to the results and correct the situation, and I'm going to feel much more comfortable in our own home going forward.